First impressions. Sometimes they can be a little awkward. And let me tell you, there's nothing more awkward than the first impression when you're on a junior high wrestling team at weigh-ins. Because it's about 30 boys, some of them are men, standing around in their underwear. So what kind of underwear do you wear to a weigh-in? Mesh, boxers. Tighty whities are a definite no, because if they aren't clean, it's pretty embarrassing. No one ever tells you this stuff. And then, how are you supposed to act? I had no idea as a 7th grader. Everybody could probably tell I was terrified, though, because the guy that was weighing in for the other team that I was supposed to wrestle had chest hair. I still had baby fat. And pretty soon the ass whipping begun, meaning that I was getting it. So, but in high school, the game changed a little bit. Because my high school coach, he would never leave us see the other team. When I started coaching, I figured out why. But we had to sit in a row of lockers on the bench in our underwear. And in high school, I started losing a lot of weight to wrestle, or cutting weight if you're a wrestler. I'm sure somebody out there is a wrestler and understands cutting weight. But when you lose a lot of weight, you probably couldn't wear underwear to weigh in. My underwear would often put me overweight. It made that much of a difference. So I had to weigh in naked. Now this is in the late 70s, early 80s, and I guess guys being naked around each other was totally cool. I don't know. But I tried to make a conscious effort to make no first impression. I wanted it to be neutral. Because I was told by my coach to set the tone when the match started. And that was going to be my first impression. So I tried to be as neutral as possible. I don't know if I was. Plus, I was really damn hungry, and I didn't really care about who I was going to wrestle. I just wanted to eat and drink something. So I wrestled in college, too, and that was totally different. Because I found out that in college, for a Saturday match, you weighed in Friday night on your home scale after practice. Oh, whoever thought of this? This was great. So I got to weigh in around my teammates, and they saw me naked plenty of times. So no first impression there until you actually wrestled. And the only time that you would weigh in against your teammates was at a tournament. So we went along like that, and we weighed in on our home scales. One night I didn't make weight. My weight got out of control that week. I don't know. I ate and drank too much food and water. Well, in college, when I was there, you had till the next morning to make weight. So the athletic trainer, she told me you did catch that, I hope. She would weigh me in. She lived near the college. All I needed to do was come over and get her. So I spent a Friday evening running. And I had gotten down close enough to weight, so I ran over to her house and got her, and she came back. And of course, I was very close to weight. And I told her, I need to weigh in naked. And she said, well, if you think I've never seen that stuff before, you're badly mistaken. And she asked me if I was ever in movies. I said, no. She goes, well, it's probably not worth looking at anyway, then. I'm like, okay. So I get on the scale, and at this time, there were skin checks. And if you're a wrestler, there's a way you stepped on the scale. You just didn't step on it. Gentle. And since there were skin checks, make sure that there's no rashes or anything like that in Pentago. And then she would check my skin, read the scale, and she'd say, "You're good." So after I graduated from college, of course, I started coaching, and I learned why you keep your team hidden during weigh-ins. Because other coaches will mess with that first impression. They'll do things like weigh everybody in, down to the guy who's fourth string. And they wouldn't tell you who anybody is. So I learned to keep my team hidden too. But yeah, first impressions are a little weird in wrestling. But the thing I learned is you set the tone early. And I finally realized that that wasn't wrestling advice. That was life advice. In my classroom, I always thought it was important to make that first impression on the first day and set the tone early, just like in a wrestling match.